Okay, Mark, Roger. Pastor McLaughlin, Roger.
Yep, if I can find that mute button. Good evening.
Okay. I'm going to allow you to ask you actually to open us up in prayer, if that's okay.
Oh, that's fine. Let us bow, pause. Gracious and eternal Father, our Lord, we thank you once again for your grace and your mercy. We just thank you for allowing us to come together here at the DFW Metro chapter of the NAACP. We just thank you for leadership. We just thank you for every individual. We ask that you would lead and guide us so that we would make healthy, wholesome decisions and that you would be pleased in what we do. We pray for those who are on the way that they would just come in and join and participate, and so that we can all do your work, do your will, and make us a better, stronger community. We thank you for it all in the name of Christ, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. And thank you everybody for tuning in today. I see some faces that we've missed, and we are excited to have you all here today. Let me make sure that's muted. Okay, great. Okay. So, share screen. Okay, so y'all can see my screen again. So listen, thank you all again for tuning in. And I want to shout out to Miss Lexi Martinez for doing our PowerPoint. We have help in the house, and I am so glad about it. She did an amazing job. And so I'll be thanking her again. And we have some other superstars who have did some things, and we have superstars that are working on some things and who have stepped up and committed to help plan some things. So I'm very excited about that. And thank you, Pastor McLaughlin, for opening us up in prayer. And as you all know, we just got a verdict in. Praise God for that. And I hope we're headed in the right direction. On the NAACP website, and Drew, if you can make note of this, I'll make sure to get the information to you. They have a signed petition that they would like for everyone to sign for police reform. So you all can go to naacp.org and access that petition, circulate it on your social media sites and within other groups that you're in, organizations that you're a part of. Let's get that signed, because what we don't want another family to have to suffer, such as Mr. Floyd's family and the many more going way back we need to head in the right direction and be more progressive, more unified as a country. All races, all kind, all gender, all everything. This is a start. We have a long way to go. And we're going to come back to that, because I don't want to further delay, but toward the end of our meeting, I'll allow time for us to share, but I want to make sure to take care of our business first. So if those that want to jump off, they can, and hopefully I can get us finished by 6:45, no later than 7. So, I'm going to be rushing to try to do that. And so guess what time it is? It's time for our Black History Moment. I've shared with you all, and I'm just going to be real frank. I don't know if I've given great details. No matter what school you've gone to, I think even in 2021, Black history is not really presented to the capacity that it should. And even us as African Americans and even people of other backgrounds really don't have a lot of Black history. We have some key moments, but there is still so much Black history out there that we didn't have the opportunity to get in school. And so that's something that has always been near and dear to me. And I've always said, if I ever had the opportunity, I was going to take advantage of that space to present a Black history moment to enlighten us all. And because I think we can do better with sharing Black history. And not only that, some of us who did get Black history, that history was may be given from somebody else's perspective and somebody else's lens, and it may not have been the total truth, and could have not been the truth at all. Because, you know, they're trying to change the textbooks in Texas now to state that slaves were slaves because that's what they chose to do, like they were indentured slaves or something. Anyway, that's a different story. But and you all do know that history that goes in the history books throughout the nation starts in Texas. So yeah. So tonight we have the amazing Miss Drew Murray, who heads our communications team, with Mr. Mark Brider, Mark Brider, and they work great together, and they did such a wonderful job. And then I get to come in and edit, so I'm not stressed with all of that heavy lifting. We got a whole team now, and that's why you see this amazing newsletter. And y'all give them a hand because they did an amazing job. I really pray if you didn't look and you haven't had the opportunity to really look at the newsletter and those articles, I mean, we're not just throwing stuff in there. It is actually good stuff. And so thank you to both of you. And I'll be saying thank you again to both of you for all that you've done to make that a success. So Drew, I am going to give you the floor, and you have a PowerPoint to show. So I just stopped sharing mine, and you have access to start sharing your screen.
Okay, thank you. Let's see if I can files. I'm trying to find basic. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, can everybody see that? Can everybody?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. The Black History moment I want to share with you all is about Octavia E. Butler. She became a famous, acclaimed science fiction writer despite many obstacles. Now I've got to figure out how to go to the next. Oh, no, that's not it. How do you, oh, just maybe here we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. She was born in 1947 in Pasadena, California. Unfortunately, she lost her father when she was just 7 years old. Her mother was a domestic worker who white employers treated badly. She was very shy and she had some dyslexia. Schoolmates were bullying her. And an aunt, unfortunately, discouraged her from her ambitions. And before she wrote her first series of novels, she had financial problems. But that did not stop Octavia. She pushed herself a lot. She became a regular at the Pasadena Library, and this is a picture of that library now. When she was 10, she begged her mother to get her a typewriter. And her mother, even though she didn't have much money, bought her a Remington typewriter, and her mother really encouraged her to be a writer. So when she started writing stories when she was only 10. At 12, she saw the movie Devil Girl from Mars, and she said, I could write a better story than that. And she thought about it. She was this young, and she started thinking about it. And the story that she ended up writing was the basis of her first series of novels called the Patternist novels. She graduated from high school. She attended Pasadena City College at night. And one night in one of her classes, a fellow American student criticized previous generations for being subservient. And his protest spurred her to write a story. She graduated with an associate's degree and enrolled at another college. But she never stopped working. She just always was improving her skills. She went to a workshop called Open Door Workshop, which was a program designed to mentor minority writers. And there she met Harlan Ellison, who was a noted science fiction writer. He encouraged her, and she actually sold her first 2 stories, one of them to Ellison and one to this man named Robin Scott Wilson. Now, she now spent 5 years working on the Patternist series of 5 novels. The first one was this Pattern Master in 1976. Mind of My Mind was the next one. Survivor, Wild Seed, and Clay's Ark. Now, Wild Seed, she actually wrote later, but that was the history of the whole series. It goes into humans' evolution, where there's 3 sets of people: the Patternists, the enemies, the Clayarks, who are diseased, mutated animal-like superhumans, and regular humans that the Patternists are the bosses of. She wrote another story, another novel in 1979, and it's called Kindred. And this novel became her bestseller. Its heroine is a Los Angeles woman who journeys from 1976 Los Angeles to the early 1800s, where she meets her ancestors, a white slaveholder and a black woman who was free but then was forced into slavery. In 1984, she won the Hugo Award for Speech Sounds, which is a short story about a pandemic that renders humans unable to speak or write. And because of that, it hindered, those after effects of this pandemic, people became more violent. They didn't understand each other, and they became more violent. But this is only a small list of the awards Octavia Butler won. She won the Nebula, Hugo, and Locus Awards, the Science Fiction Chronicle Reader Award. Later on, she won the Arthur C. Clarke Award. And now they are naming things in space for her. A mountain, this is the Pluto's moon called Charon. And there's a mountain named on there called Butler Mons in honor of Octavia. She authored a whole other series called the Exogenesis series. It was included in a book called Dawn, Parable of the that's another one, I'm sorry. It had 3 different novels in this series. Then she started another series called the Parable or Earthseed series, which she had these 2 books, Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents. And later on in her life, she wrote some short stories. She had a little trouble with writer's block, but she also wrote Fledgling, which is a vampire story, but it's not the normal vampire story. It involves some horses. And I don't want you to think, from what I read about her, these stories are really not about science per se, but she was very concerned about society and how humans are, and she studied how they were, and what she saw was a problem. And the thing that she worried the most about with humans was hierarchical violence. She had an essay called "In a World Without Racism." She said, "Simple peck order bullying is only the beginning of the kind of hierarchical behavior that can lead to racism, sexism, ethnocentrism, classism, and all the other isms that cause so much suffering in the world." Now, what is Octavia Butler's legacy? Her goals were, I will send poor Black youngsters to Clarion or other writers' workshops, help poor Black youngsters broaden their horizons, and help poor Black youngsters go to college. And 2 of those things were achieved, because if you see their scholarships, There have been numerous scholarships set up in her name to help minority writers. And she's also heralded as a queen or a forerunner of Afrofuturism, kind of themes that treat African American themes and concerns in this context of 20th century technoculture. But others say that her heroes are of African origin, but the communities they establish are multi-ethnic and at times multi-ethnic. Now, she's getting a lot of attention right now. There was an opera written that's entitled Parable of the Sower, one of the titles of her books. In the media right now, there is a graphic novel based on Kindred, and there's 2 TV series in production right now. One is Dawn and the other is Wild Seed. There's also a podcast called Octavia's Parables. Now, a book was just published called Octavia's Brood, Science Fiction and Social Justice Movements, because her thoughts about social justice were included in this book, and they're using them as ways to help change things. So Octavia Butler, I had never actually heard of her before. My husband has read her books, not all of them, but some of them, and he said they are just excellent. So I hope this encourages people to, learn about her and maybe read some of her books and tell our children about her. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And I can't stop sharing your screen on my side.
Oh, let's see if I can do that. Let's see, how do I?
Push the share button it may be at the top. At the top, it'll say stop sharing.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Drew. And then I don't know how to change the screen. Oh, there it is. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Drew. We appreciate that. Does anyone have any questions for Drew? And Drew, did you get the information for the Black-owned independent bookstore?
I did, but I meant to call her, and I guess I got confused. I will send that out. I wanted to call her today and ask if she had some of those books, and I got confused and didn't do it, but I will do it.
Okay.
Because it'd be
sounds good. Okay. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do not know how to. Okay, so how do I remove my face from there? Remove pin. There we go. Okay, and then I don't know how to remove Drew's. I'm sorry. So anyway, so Drew, you're on the main screen and I don't know how to remove it. So I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't see myself on there.
I can see you, Crystal, when you talk. I can see you.
Okay, good. Can y'all see Monica now? Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? And Drew, can you share in the chat that information for Edna's Boutique Bookstore?
Yeah. Let me
look,
if you could, because you sent it to me and I meant to call today and I got distracted and confused.
Okay. Well, thank you again. Everybody give Drew a hand. Thank you, Drew, for being bold.
It's appreciated.
Share that with us.
It was really interesting to learn about her. And I want to read one of her books at least.
Right. Well, awesome. Okay, now do we have anybody on the meeting today? Everybody looks like we have family. This is no one, everybody's been on here before, right? I don't see anybody new. So awesome. So welcome to the family. And do we have any birthdays or anniversaries for this month? Do we have any birthdays or anniversaries? No?
I had a birthday on the 7th.
On the 7th?
Yeah, it's Monica.
Was that Monica?
Yes.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Monica.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Did you turn 21, 16, or what did
Yeah,
you do?
21 for multiple times. Yes.
Awesome. So that brings us to our DFW Metro NAACP elections. And I'm not going to go through all of this because did everybody on the call did get the newsletter, correct? We've had the information in the newsletter, I think, like since probably November. So if you pull any of the newsletters, and then on the Facebook page, if you go up to files, there's a file there with all of the descriptions for each position as well. So that is there. So I said, look on the newsletter, Facebook group page, and then also the National NAACP website actually has the descriptions as well. Let me make sure no one's trying to get in on the meeting. Okay, and
Keith was trying to
I won't go.
Keith was trying to get
Keith's
in.
on.
He is? Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I think you sent his link. So what we want to do now is, can we kind of get an idea? I did have three that mentioned that they were in a position and would like to take leadership roles. And can we take some names down? Monica, are you taking any notes, or can you for us? Thank you. So anybody from the floor want to make any nominations? Y'all, we gotta get this done. So we need y'all to speak up and share some names. So we do have Miss Monica Miller, who has been with us. For those of you that don't know, Monica has been with us since day one. And I don't know if you all heard the story, how we were out walking around in the lake at Andy Brown, and she was getting her workout on, and this purity stranger stopped her mid-air in the middle of her run, never seen me before, didn't know who I was. She didn't beat me up, bite my head off or anything. I told her what we were trying to do. And when I tell you, Monica has been here since day one. She hit the ground running, and I am eternally grateful for her. And so Monica has stepped up and is bold and willing to serve and help lead this branch. Y'all, I'm trying not to get teary-eyed. Y'all know I get emotional about everything. So I'm just so appreciative of her and all of you, because everybody on this call tonight has been here pretty much for a while. And in various ways, you all have been very instrumental in making this come to fruition. So Monica Miller has submitted her name as being willing to serve our branch. And also, and y'all stop me if you have some other names to suggest. Also, Lexi Martinez, she's not on the call tonight. You know, Lexi is in school working on to get her chiropractor degree. And so I think she has class tonight. But even when Lexi can't make it to the call, she's one of our young people who has hit the ground running as well. And I'll tell you all a story about Lexi. Y'all know I'm tired. So we've been working hard. And I remember in January, when it was time for the Martin Luther King birthday celebration, she contacted me. I didn't ask, I didn't put out a plea for anything. She contacted me and said, Crystal, I'm making a flyer and I'll have it ready for that day. Now, I just was overwhelmed with joy, because somebody to just take the lead and I don't have to get out and ask and beg and pull. I was like, glory to God. And so Lexi, she's did that. And Lexi actually pulled together our PowerPoint. So that took a lot of pressure off of me and some of the other things I had to do. Lexi did the PowerPoint. I just had to do a couple of little things that I added to it, but she did an amazing job with that. And so she has stepped up as well to serve. And the reason why I hadn't, and Monica may be wondering why I'm not saying exactly what capacity they've volunteered to serve, because if we don't get enough people, we may have to shuffle them around temporarily until we get some other people that want to step up. Okay, so can we get some other names? But the hope was that they would be able to serve in the secretary position. But and this is kind of new. I hope I'm not scaring Monica, but we'll figure it out, you know, because basically, you know, if we all work together like we did today, somebody does this and somebody does that. I mean, whether it's the secretary, the treasurer, the bookkeeper, whoever it is, just long as we're making it, getting it done, that's what's going to be important. And as we grow, because initially you all remember, there are very, very strict guidelines as to what we can say and what we can do. So there are still quite a few people who are not aware that we have this branch active in the community. So as we do that and are able to, you know, continue to spread the word, do another official membership drive, we'll have more people that have come on board. And so we may have to shuffle Monica and anybody else, and Lexi, anybody else around.
Also, yeah, Crystal, I'm free to plug in anywhere, just like you and I discussed. So would love to hear some more nominations. We do have a comment in the chat. Someone asked if you could go back to the slide where the positions,
thank you,
where the actual open positions are.
Thank you so much. Okay. And so, thank you so much, Monica. See, that's what I'm talking about. Good help, because I can't see the chat. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And so do we have any other nominations? Y'all don't be scared. We're all family. And Drew has mentioned that she's going to be able, and Keith have been serving with our communications team, getting our newsletters out. So I pray they will continue to serve in that capacity. Anybody else? Oh, yes. Kendall Marshall, which he's been jumping on the calls too. He owns a tax business in the area and has for a lot of years. He actually is willing to serve in our treasury position. And again, I've mentioned to him, we may need to shuffle some things around. And that's Mr. Kendall Marshall. So there's 1, 2, 3. And okay, do we have any other nominations? You all want to nominate anybody?
Well, I have a question. If I work on the communications, and if you need me as one of the people from one of the, from the 7 regions, I'm willing to do that too.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Drew, I had already signed you up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because you had already told me that you were willing to serve in a leadership role, which you've actually already been doing anyway. So I figure after we get some names and nominations, that maybe we'll talk off key, those of us and just try to see how we can fill these positions. And again, Monica, Drew, and everybody, if you end up in a position that's really not what you signed up for, or anybody else on the call, don't be scared. Even if you're willing to only serve for 6 months or for a year, we just need for us to be officially activated on the national level. There are some things we have to have done. And so you can just say, I'm not going to be able to do this, and I don't want to do this. I'm just going to do this temporarily for 6 months, and then we'll be in position to start looking for somebody to replace you, if that's what you choose to do.
Crystal,
so do we have any more nominations?
Crystal, this is Lori. Just a quick question. When they say member from each of the 7 regions, what are those 7 regions? I'm getting hung up on that.
I thought Drew just meant that she would be able to serve in another capacity. Is that what I thought she was just using that?
No, well, I'm looking at the slide that lists all the executive board positions. And kind of in the middle there, it says one member from each of the 7 regions. And what are those 7 regions?
Okay, so I don't know what that is. So let me say this. I don't know what that is. I did mention to our point of contact on the state level that we did not have, because I've been asking for leadership volunteers for a while. And so I expressed to them for the last couple of months that I didn't know how we were looking for in that area. So what they said is, if we can at least get a president, treasurer, secretary, treasurer, secretary. if we can get those main, I'm trying to think, what all did she say? It was like 4 or 5 positions.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I mean, asking for 17 members of a board on a on a young club is kind of, that's kind of hard to do. So
right. So thank you for stopping me so we could clarify that.
Yeah.
So basically, if we can get at least 5 people that are willing, we can shuffle those around just to solidify the positions and be completely active, because there are things going on the state level and the national level, and we're not even getting the notifications because we haven't had our elections. Right. So, and again, if anybody's willing, we can always come back once we are an official group and we can make those decisions within our branch. But right now, the state has to come in and help us do our elections. So we'll be completely activated. And then from there on, we as a group can come back after 6 months and add some more leaders, or we can say 12 months. We as a branch, we can make that decision, you know, as we get people that are willing to serve. And again, like I said, we have people stepping up, so we're doing it, you know, but I am confident that more people are going to, and I think today, since the verdict was just reached, there was a lot going on and we have the election. I think the emotions of all of that, we probably would have had a greater turnout on the call tonight too, I believe.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. So, so we have Monica, Lexi, Kendall, anybody else, and Drew. Okay. And so if you think of anybody else, everybody has the email address to DFW Metro NAACP
Crystal?
at Gmail. Yes. I'm sorry.
Someone just said they're willing to serve and from the chat room.
Okay.
Jack.
Oh yeah, Jack Henderson.
Okay, what y'all? I can't see it. Let me see. Y'all.
Yes, Jack Henderson.
Okay, he's willing to serve, or he has a question. Okay,
I'm willing to serve where needed. So thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Also, and I want to say, Lori or John, one of you, didn't you all tell Dr. Henderson about our branch? Yes, Dr. Jack Henderson. He's part of the Allies group, I think. Oh, maybe it was George. Somebody from the Rotary Club connected Dr. Henderson. So yes, Dr. Henderson has been very supportive, him and his wife, Linda.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. It was a while ago.
Now, Lori, listen, now you know my struggles.
It took me a minute. Sorry, Jack. Yes.
Oh, okay, because Lori, you know, I'm thinking now, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
So great. That's awesome. Dr. Jack has been very supportive since day one on in a huge way. And so we are grateful for him. He's been very helpful to making sure that we came to fruition. So that's awesome. So do we have anybody else now? Did anybody else mention in the chat? Okay, so you took Dr. Jack's name down, Monica?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, great. Okay.
And I also got your name. I assume that was one as well.
Oh, did you? Okay, thank you. So thank you. And it's a blessing. I appreciate you all for your support. So yes. And again, if you all change your mind, you think about it, call me. Y'all know how to reach me. Call me, text me. It's no problem at all. Now, if you email me, you may need to send me a text message and tell me to check my email, because my email is run it over. And so and then if you have somebody in mind that even if they haven't been connected, just as long as you ask them, are they going to truly be committed? Now, although I really wish we had more names to nominate, I am grateful that we didn't have anybody to throw a name out there if they're really not willing to serve and do anything. So I appreciate that, you know, because if somebody, you don't have the time, you just don't have the time. And I appreciate those people being honest with the branch, you know, if you can't, you know, so, but we'll still be asking you all to do some things. And again, if you change your mind, let us know. And if you have any questions about anything, please let us know as well. Okay. So let me ask this quick question. How are we doing on time? Okay. I need to ask this quick question. Are you all okay with, okay, number one, have you all heard of anybody in the community who still wants to get a membership? Does everybody, I think everybody on the call tonight has gotten a membership. Now the membership cards, that's on the later down on this list here. They did contact me. So it's a lot that has been going on. So I'm gonna try to dress this up, and so it won't be a lot of, I won't have to give a lot of explanation, but trust and believe, I am constantly emailing, I am constantly calling, trying to get things squared away. So no, behind the scenes, I'm working like a Hebrew slave. And so I did get a notification that the membership cards are they've either made it to Texas or they're on the way, but they are going to be sending them to me. So when I get them, I'll make a call. What we'll probably do is find a mutual place, maybe 1 hour over the weekend where people can swing by and pick them up. So this is what they did say that they would do. Instead of our memberships expiring this year, they will expire next year in 2022. Okay. Because they've been in some transitioning on the national level, I believe, I don't know, but I hadn't received the information. And so they just contact me to say they're going to be putting it in the mail at some point, and they're sending them all to me. Okay. So if you know anybody in the community who's asked, let them know the membership cards are on the way or something like that, and they're going to be mailed to me, and I'll let you all contact me, and I'll contact you all and let you know how we're going to get those to everybody. I wish they could have mailed them to everybody, but it was reasons why they said that they could. So we're looking at May the 4th as an election day. Or would you all like to do it before May the 4th? Are you available to do it before May the 4th? Or is May the 4th too early? The reason why I say that is like, it was delayed outside of our hands, and now it's like the people who delayed it are trying to rush it.
So does the election, does it have to be done like live via Zoom, or is it just going to be something that you send, like a ballot that you send out?
I have no ideas. I'm sorry. They didn't give me. I think it's going to be Zoom. I'm thinking it's going to be virtual.
Well, because I mean, there might be a lot of people who can't. I know I can't attend on the 4th. So will there be an option with an ability to vote if we're not on the Zoom?
So we all can make a decision now. Let's come up with an alternative date, and it doesn't have to be on a Tuesday. I mean, we can pick another day. And I feel like everybody on the call, I did all that I could to notify everybody of the meeting. So we can make a decision now as to what day you all want to do it.
Yeah, if they could give us just a simple ballot option. I mean, we're only talking about 5 people for about 5 or 6 positions. So
they have to come in and do it. So
they have to do
it.
Oh,
yes. We won't do it. The state has to come in and do it.
Okay.
They actually wanted to do it during tonight's meeting. And I said, the stuff that you all were supposed to do back in December, you just did this week. And so I haven't had the opportunity to notify our members. So I think I needed to have ample time to notify everybody and get a consensus as to when you all wanted to move forward.
Grisel, what do we know about what exactly is going to happen when they quote come in and do this?
I have no idea. I just know, and I don't think it's going to be anything elaborate or anything like that. I just think they just have to do it. I think that's the biggest thing, is that an official from the state NAACP has to do the election.
Well, can we at least find out from them, if there are possibilities of things like, I'll call it absentee ballot or whatever it is. If you can't be there, you still vote. What is it? What does that mean? So
no voter suppression.
Okay. Let me see if I can get Miss Aura on the phone now and ask her. And thank you for joining Mr. Drake's, Brother Drake's Mandrell. And this is his first time joining our meeting, so we appreciate you bunches for tuning in with us. Okay, I was trying to say. Okay, so if you all have any other names or anything, just let me know. And what I'll do, Drew, how about we prepare, you and Keith, if you don't mind, can we maybe prepare an email? Because I'll ask those questions and maybe we can get an email out to everybody by the end of the week, because I don't know when you all were planning to do the May newsletter. But we need to come up with a date. Because if we're not going to do May the 4th, you all just give us a date and we can be flexible with that.
I mean, so like an email announcing the election day?
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. But also there were questions as to what that looks like. Like, because I don't know. Hello, Brother Grasty.
And
I can
Crystal,
support a meeting on the 4th. I know there were some people who mentioned conflicts, but
Crystal, was it when they said the 4th of May, did they also say at the standard 6 o'clock time?
We can change that. And that's another thing at a later date. We can also talk about our meetings. Do we want to remain at this time of day or do we want to pick another time? So Brother Grasty, we're talking about, so we just shared, we took nominations. So if you want to nominate yourself or anybody for a leadership position, please let us know, mention it in the chat. Monica, can you mention in the chat that if anybody joins on the call late and they want to nominate themselves or somebody else for a leadership position, they can do so. But what we're discussing now, they didn't really give me many details as to what the election process would be. And so we're gonna share that information via email when I get it. But we need to come up with a date that we can actually have the election. And then Monica, if you can make note, oh, I think we lost her on the call. She'll be back on. But if somebody can make note, we need to let Monica know for me to remember, because you all asked if somebody can't be on the call, can they send in a proxy vote? Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay, any other questions that I need to make sure to cover or get answered? And I guess the next thing, can we come up with a date when you all want to do it?
Well, I mean, so when you say that, obviously you want to keep it within as soon as possible, because, like, you know, in the email we could have that question, and you can there are tools that you can use to say pick a date. I forget the name of those tools. Maybe Drew, you know them. But anyway, there are tools you can say, you know, which date, and the most people pick a date. You go with that date, and of course, I guess Crystal, it has to be a date that the folks from the state have to be good with too, right?
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. The only problem is when we've asked for any type of communication, response of action, it's us, the ones that are on the call right now, that even reply. So, I mean, if we keep delaying it and they're really pressing to get this done, it's up to you all. I mean, I really wanted to wait another month because they still don't have our information on the national website, because people have expressed wanting to join.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Right. And I don't want to take it. It was quite a headache to have to receive that money. I don't want to do that. I've been asking, and I can provide anybody that doesn't believe. I have been sending emails, national, state level, to many people, CCN people, literally probably since November or December, when I found out that we were activated, for them to provide a way on the national website for people to join. So what my question has been in an email that I've been sending for almost 6 months now has been, can the IT department put our branch on the national page so people can join? To make it easy, they don't have to send anything to me, or we don't have to do it. They can just do it on the site. And that still hasn't taken place. So then when they finally got things to the place where we could actually do our election, it still hasn't been done. So my question was, can we delay the election at least 30 days if not three weeks, at least some time to allow people, once we're live on the national page, to allow people time to actually join so they can participate in the elections. And I didn't get a response from that because whoever the person is that's supposed to do the IT, supposedly other people have put their request in. It has not happened. That's number one. And then number two, it's like now I think this should have been done in February, but again, there was stuff that wasn't done on the national and state level, which had nothing to do with us or me or any of us. They wanted this done in February. Well, we wanted it done in February or January too. So now that they've gotten things in place, it's like rush and do it. Yes, we want to rush and do it, but I have to be respectful to, first of all, give you all notification, and number two, give you all time to, play a part. I'm not going to make a decision for the entire branch without consulting you all.
Right. I don't know if things have changed, but I do know that several years ago, I mean, it's been quite a while now, but I actually did get a contracting job to go up to the national to work on their database. They needed some indexing done. So they didn't really have anybody on staff working on their IT stuff. So,
Right.
They contracted with these guys. This guy contacted me, said, hey, would you like to come work, and they flew me up and I worked on their database, do some indexing overnight, but they didn't have anybody there, to actually do that sort of work. I mean, technically you should have somebody on site who, takes care of that sort of thing. So I don't know that they have anybody, to take care of, their websites or whatever.
And it's not just the IT
yeah.
department. I was informed that the whole national department has been shuffled. So that was part of the delay of them getting some of this stuff done.
Well, Crystal, I for one, I mean, if you're not in a hurry, and I mean, I think we have to balance the fact that once summer comes, we're going to lose even more people. People will start to, go on vacation, all that. So if we can somehow find a date in late May, before everybody sort of disappears for the summer, that would be my suggestion.
I already asked that question, and so I don't think they're going to let us do that.
Oh, okay. So they're really, they're saying we gotta do it.
They were trying their best to do it tonight during tonight's meeting.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have fussed to stop them from forcing that. I didn't think so. Yeah.
Crystal,
yes.
why don't we just set a date? Let's do it next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, special election meeting.
Yeah.
We have nominations. Let's send that out on an email and ask everybody to show up for elections next Tuesday at 6. I mean, they're pushing it. They don't want to go to May. Sooner the better. We've got enough nominations. Let's go forward with it and get it done. That's my suggestion.
Good idea.
Okay, is everybody good with that? And we want to do 6. We want to keep it at 6, right?
I think keeping everything in the same, focus.
Okay.
It's always been on a Tuesday. It's always been at 6. Let's keep it Tuesday at 6, special elections, and that's what it'll be. A special election.
And once we do that, the way it's being explained to me, some of the holdup and stuff, we may be able to get some of the stuff that needs to get done a little better, because that'll put me and anybody that's an officer in a better position to not have to deal with the middleman of the state. So that once we get a board and stuff, we'll be able to get direct communication supposedly. So yeah. Okay. So Monica, we're going to roll with May 27th, and you all look out for an email, and I'll do the same communications that I always do.
April 27th, right?
Yes, April. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. And I wrote it wrong on my paper too. Okay. Okie dokie. We're going to skip that part. after, basically what that was stating is that after we do our elections, we'll do an official membership drive and a fundraiser and all of that. They told us to mention that kind of stuff, but that's okay. Early voting started yesterday, so I hope you all have either already voted or you have plans to vote. And of course, and that's through April the 27th, and May 1st is our election day. And do we have anybody on the call that is running for a office? Okay. So in your newsletter, and then even on the Facebook website, Ms. Jackie Shaw is looking for poll greeters. If anybody wants to volunteer in the Denton County area as a poll greeter, she has 2-hour slots. This is her information. This information is in the chat. Okay, it's in the chat. I mean, not in the chat, in the newsletter. Does anybody need me? Can you all take a picture of this if you want? If anybody wants to volunteer, can you take a picture of that? Okay. And also, we still always need, do we have anybody that would like to volunteer for our next meeting as our Black History Moment presenter? Anybody? Okay.
I'll do it again.
Okay, who's that?
Drew.
Okay. So we'll solicit in the newsletter, and if nobody speaks up, Drew, you have it.
For which day now? So that's not for the special election though, right?
No, not for the election day.
Okay.
And then also what I wanted to ask, if you all, I know everybody knows some different people. What I really would like for us to do is start pulling some of our youth. If you have students or church or other organizations, if we can start getting our youth to volunteer. And again, it's only for 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, 7 max. So if you all need to take a picture of that, it's just our regular email, and that'll be in our newsletter as well. And then if you all have ideas or articles that you want, information that you want in our newsletter, please submit that information, and I'll make sure Keith and Drew get that information. Of course, you all know I've shared information on our Facebook page about Black Wall Street. The centennial of the massacre of Tulsa is going to be in May. So there are several groups that are caravanning to doing caravan groups to trips to Tulsa. And you can Google online there. They have a lot of activities planned during that time. But if any of you are interested, we could plan us a little group and follow each other up to Tulsa. Anybody know how far Tulsa is from here?
It's about 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. So if any of you are interested in us going up, I'm thinking that weekend, the only thing is that's Memorial Day. So we can talk about it. If anybody's interested, let's talk about it. Send an email so we can try to figure out what days we want to go. Okay. Westside Baptist Church, if you know anybody that still wants to get their vaccine or needs to get a vaccine, Saturday on the 24th, they're going to have a vaccine drive from 10 to 4. You don't even have to register, just show up with the valid ID, and they're going to do first come, first serve, and that's for anybody, wherever they want to drive from. They can get there. They're going to get their vaccination. And I believe, Brother Jody, they said it's going to be the Pfizer one. I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so also Friendship West is going to have their West Wall Street event where they highlight minority small businesses. So if you know someone that has a small business or minority business, have them to go to friendshipwest.org/West Wall Street so they can be a vendor. They have to have their request to be a vendor by May the 9th. And then West Wall Street listed. I know that's in Oak Cliff. It's a little ways away, but West Wall Street is always a wonderful event to go to because, I mean, I've gotten good food, all kind of food. I've gotten pieces. Y'all even complimented me on some of my signature statement jewelry pieces that I've gotten from there. I get all kind of African wear and just a lot of different things. I gotten black owned skincare products, candles. I mean, some of everything. So they're going to do it on the 12th and the 13th, and it'll be outside. It'll be plenty of room. They'll probably have some entertainment and stuff, but it's always a nice event. So pass that word. And again, you all can take a picture of the screen. And Drew, we'll have to make sure to get that in the newsletter. I mentioned to you all about the membership cards. Juneteenth. We still need a few people to help plan our Juneteenth activities. So I was explaining to you all, I was hoping that we could do multiple days. So I'm thinking that maybe we'll do some once a week. And that will range from either credit repair, first time buyers, small business, how to start a business, or you all throw out some ideas if you have some ideas, and then healthcare, not necessarily healthcare, but something about from a health standpoint. So if you all have some other ideas of some topics that we can try to get some speakers in, or if you have ideas for speakers, or you have some ideas of what we need to include and what that looks like, please, please, please email that in, drop it in the chat and let us know so we can start working on making sure that particular area that you're interested in, that we can find somebody to be a professional, expert speaker in that particular area. Anybody have any questions thus far? Because I'm moving kind of fast. Okay. But I need volunteers. Do I have at least 1 or 2 people that are willing to step up? And basically the lifting will be, because it'll be virtual, it'll be just us solidifying what topics we're going to cover and then trying to find some speakers to or panelists for that particular discussion. So do we have a couple of people that'll step up to help us pull that off?
Yeah, I'll do what I can to help.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think I was already on the list.
Okay, and we got, yes, you are. So thank you, Brother Grasty, Deacon Grasty. Okay, anybody else? Okay. And then virtual movie night. Monica has stepped up to help with that, and somebody else did. Monica, do you remember who it was?
No, I didn't actually see a response. So if you saw one, text me and let me know. I didn't see anyone respond.
Somebody in one of the groups, because I shared it in all of the groups. It seems like somebody else mentioned that they were going to be willing to help with that too.
Okay, it must have been
Might have been Jonas or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look.
Okay.
And is anybody else interested? What we want to do is do a virtual movie. It would be good if we can figure out how to do it and pull it off smoothly. And then we do a summer series of it over the summer, maybe every Friday night, not one Friday night out of the month. So, and if you all know how to do it, if you all have participated in any virtual movie nights or something like that, please email us and let us know how it works, what platform we need to be looking at, and how we can pull that off where we can actually see the movie and not be distracted with our regular Zoom account. And if anybody knows of a way, y'all let us know now or inbox it so Monica can make note of it so we can check on that, okay? And then if you all have a movie or a documentary that you all would want to suggest. Now, I know I posted in the Facebook group page. I've been posting some good stuff in there and others have too. They did a documentary on Black educators, I think in the DFW area. I shared that on the DFW Metro page. And there was another documentary. I don't think it was the Emmett Till stuff. It was another young lady. The woman who I think tried to that sued the Klan or something, but there was another documentary. But if you all know,
that was just on TV recently. Yeah,
was it on PBS? Because whatever this is was on PBS.
Yeah,
I think so. I remember seeing the advertisements for that one though.
Okay, so and if you all have other suggestions, can you drop it in the chat or email it to us so we could try to share if it's something you feel like we all need to see, the community needs to see. But I know those have been mentioned on our Facebook page. And we still, like I said, we can stand to have a couple of more help. And again, it won't be heavy lifting. We probably just decide on what we're going to see, what day, and I'll create the Zoom and then maybe create a flyer. And that's so, again, when I'm asking you all to step up for some stuff, it's not going to be a lot of hard work. I promise you it won't. Black History Month. Okay. Anybody have any questions? So you all take a picture of this. This is local food drives. Westside they give away free produce every third Wednesday from 10 to 12. That's Westside Baptist Church. St. Anne's Catholic Church in Capel. Even though you all may not need this information, please make a mental note of it and don't take it for granted. There may be somebody else that may need it, that may need this help. Or if you all have seen the the homeless camp that has evolved on 35 in Walnut Hill and Royal Lane, it is. And I've gotten food from food drives and taken it over there to those people. And so, because they don't have the means to get to some of these food drives, and that camp is growing and growing and growing. So Friendship West does the food drive every first and third. And Metrocrest has a pantry available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4, and then Saturday, 9 to 12. And when we get our face, and y'all, I have had, if you have somebody that you want to suggest for the website, I did have a gentleman that contact me from East Texas who had did a website for another NAACP branch, and they didn't buy it or pay for it or whatever. So he was willing to make it live for our branch. So he hasn't given me the cost of what that's going to be. But if you all know somebody else, or if you all have that expertise so we can save the money, definitely let us know. And then we'll see what he has to share with you all so we can try to get that going. And of course, check your spam for your emails if you haven't gotten those. And then if you want anybody, I think everybody's opted in, so I don't have to go through all that because you all are here. So obviously you got the information. So our thank yous again to our communications team. Keith and Drew, you did a wonderful job. And Alexis, I put her under the communications team since she did the PowerPoint presentation and she's did graphics for us before. And thank you for those who stepped up and nominated yourselves or someone for our leadership team. And again, I thank everybody on the call, because even those of you that didn't step up for a leadership team, everybody on this call has did something to make this a success. And so I'm grateful for each and every one of you, our members and our community. So I think that's, and you know, I do have all of our social media platforms secure. We have DF Metro, everything. The only thing is I really need to talk to somebody. They unpublished our Facebook page, and I don't know what I violated or what. It may be that we couldn't have a group and a page. I'm not sure, but they unpublished it, and I've been writing letters trying to communicate with them to figure out what do we need to do to be in compliance to have our actual Facebook page versus a group. So I'm not sure what the issue was there. So stop sharing. Okay. So do we have any questions or comments? Save chat. Okay. Anybody? Y'all are so wonderful. Okay, then. So April the 27th at 6 p.m. and I will send out a text. I'll do all the normal communications once I get a confirmation from them. I'll make sure to send them the email now and make sure they confirm what we can do. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You all are awesome. I love you guys. Y'all take care.
You take care.
All right, take care.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's
Bye.
good to see you all. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Drew, people have been calling about Mr. Brother Grass. Did y'all see the newsletter? Did y'all see how awesome it was?
It is. It's very nice.
And then
Very
that information
nice.
they had about the examiner's office, the information that Keith shared about the
Keith
Black.
did a great job.
Yeah, they did great.
Mhm.
So yeah, and thank you, Dr.
Very
Jack.
nice.
Can you unmute Dr. Jack? Yeah, thank you for stepping up to help us in our leadership roles. Okay, everybody.
Take care.
Okay, and
All right.
Brother Deacon Grassy, I thought I was gonna have to call and check on you. Oh, let me mention. You remember? Oh, I'm live. I'm sorry. Hang on.